What's good, YouTube? 3 videos in the past 3 days. I'm on fire, boys. Absolute fucking fire. But anyway, let's get into the topic of the video, which is going to be new healer misconceptions and fears. So lately, as I've played a lot of matches in the lower rankings and talked with newer healers, or had a few brave souls send me their gameplay clips for a breakdown. I'll comment more on that at the end of the video. I've noticed common fears and misconceptions that a lot of newer and even a bit more experienced healers seem to have. So today I'd like to tackle some of them and help you get rid of them ASAP or avoid them in the first place. As a side note, I'm sorry I don't have any footage of these examples and topics I'm going to cover, as I don't want to use other people's footage, for example the people who sent me their clips for a breakdown without permission, and I don't do any of these things myself a lot. So the first thing is fear of having your cast interrupted and relying too much on instant heals, which goes for astrologians especially. But this one is pretty self-explanatory. Many players I've seen seem to have this fear of getting interrupted by damage the second someone sticks to you, which is a fear you can throw right out of the window right now. How damage-based interruption works is direct damage that exceeds a specific HP threshold will interrupt you. And only that, not every single hit. And the damage threshold should be around about 15%-ish of your base HP. So if a hit doesn't exceed that damage amount out of your base HP, it doesn't actually interrupt you. So if someone just hit you with their first attack in their combo, and they don't have any cooldowns up, you're pretty much 100% safe to cast a heal, as the second part won't actually interrupt your heal either. The only part of a combo that's able to do that somewhat reliably without any cooldowns is the third hit of a combo, fourth for Dragoons as well. So basically, practicing the awareness to keep track of which part of the combo the enemy is on will let you cast with less stressing about getting your heals interrupted and will make your healer gameplay more fluid. Also, you should practice casting your heals in between enemy GCDs. And what that means is basically just after a hit, you start casting right after it. Basically, it makes you cast in between when you're not taking any damage. And even if the second hit does come in at the end of your cast, it doesn't actually have any time to interrupt you. So practice that as well. Second is unnecessary movement and kiting ghosts. Happens a lot in high-stress situations such as clustered team fights. Let's take an example. When multiple people are taking damage and you're being tagged by the tank or the melee or both, after they got off of you and focused someone else in that clustered team fight, you find yourself still running in circles, etc., trying to shake people off that are not actually on you anymore. Because it's kind of hard to notice when they switch off of you in such a tightly packed team fight if you're not used to that kind of a situation. And the point of this is to cut down the time when you're not casting / looking for a more favorable position to heal from or avoid damage. AKA cut down dead time when you're basically doing nothing. Astrologians specifically should be mindful of the two topics that I just covered, because having access to that juicy instant heal called aspected benefit can make you fall back and rely on it too much when you're being pressured, causing you to do both of these things. So you guys especially be aware. Third one is being afraid to use your cooldowns and saving them for that perfect opportunity or moment. It's always better, in fact, to use your cooldowns early than late when you're learning. Obviously, you want to start using them just right once you start getting the hang of timings and burst windows, but when you're learning, use them beforehand, well in time, rather than late. Using them early makes you see and realize the timings of using your cooldowns effectively and adjust the timing or number / type of cooldowns you're using in the future. Versus using them late in a situation where you need them most will likely stop your learning opportunity the second the player you're healing dies, so you'll learn less effectively and slower. Situation you'd actually want to use your cooldowns in. If you're getting a feeling that your target's HP is going down faster than you can heal, use them. If you see the enemies start popping offensive cooldowns, use them. Maybe not the second you see the first cooldown popped, But like I said, using them early will still let you adjust your timing in the future and reflect on it. Attunement is basically the same deal as your healing cooldowns. If you feel like you're going down faster than you can deal with, or you don't have any cooldowns up to deal with the incoming damage, use it at a safer HP rather than at like 10%. I'd say somewhere around 30 and 40% will let you kind of gauge how you used it and maybe use it differently next time. Basically, using all of your cooldowns early will let you reflect on it later better than using them late. Then let's get into backpedaling, and you might be wondering what that is and why is it bad. Me and other controller players in general most likely won't have this problem, as I can't imagine anyone playing on the standard control layout for moving, which basically if we go into our character configuration and then controls here right away is Legacy is what I'm using and what most people I imagine are using, which is like just moving around wherever you put your stick in the direction to. The standard makes you basically always move. If you move forward, you'll always move towards this point your camera is directed at, and when you move backwards, it basically makes you backpedal. So this is what backpedaling is. I think this is more of a keyboard thing, especially if you have the default S key bound for that. And what this backpedaling basically means is that you'll be moving slower than the normal running speed, means you're easier to stick to and interrupt basically, and obviously you wouldn't want any of those things. Varying by situation, you'll also react to things as situations slower than someone who is not. For example, if the enemy team swaps you really quickly and you need to get out of that situation really fast, you might not be able to do that if you're backpedaling because you're easier to stick to. And you should never do this, and I would really recommend unbinding it completely or rebinding the S key if you're playing on a keyboard for something you'd want instant access to that is useful, something like the stun, knockback, bind, or whatever. That's it for this video. Hope you guys found it useful. Hope it will help a lot of you competing in the Season 4 starting tomorrow. Hype! Probably also going to go over the possible PvP changes when the patch notes are out, and I very much hope there will be some adjustments. I'm very sick of this meta, and a lot of people are. But yeah, like I mentioned in the beginning, if you're a newer healer looking for tips or a way to get better, you can record like 2 or 4 games and send them over to me, and I could give you a breakdown of things you might want to work on to help you get better. This offer is probably more aimed towards the lower ranked healers, and I probably can't help the like plat and diamond ranked healers in the previous seasons, especially depending on their job. Let's keep this on healers for now. And I mentioned this in my Feast Healing Analysis 1 video, but just mentioning this again. You can find the ways of contacting me in the description box below. Anyway, thanks for watching. Drop a comment down below what you thought, questions, all that jazz. Like if you liked the video or found it useful, dislike if you thought it was poop, and subscribe for more content in the future. Thana signing out of this video marathon. Have a great one, guys, and peace.